Welcome back here in Nashville as we get set at Bridgestone Arena for the Coyotes and the Nashville Predators. And big night. It's Military Appreciation Night here in Nashville. They're wearing their fatigues and warm-ups, so to speak. All of those will be raffled off to charities. Eric Nystrom wearing the hat, the military hat, in warm-up. And we had repellers coming down from the rafters here at Bridgestone Arena. Just a great scene put on here by the military and our hosts, the Nashville Predators. And just moments ago, the puck drop at center ice involving Staff Sergeant Andrew Bush and the two captains. He hails from Gaithersburg, Maryland, trained at Fort Bragg, and he has won a lot of distinguished medals and commendations. One oak leaf cluster, the Army Good Conduct Medal, the Afghanistan Campaign Medal. He has been certainly a military hero for the United States. The goaltenders, Marek Mazanec for the Nashville Predators. He's 3-3 with a .232 goals against average. And down at the other end tonight for the Coyotes, it'll be Mike Smith. He's 12-4-4 with a goals against average of 3.02. The referees are Greg Kimmerly and Wes McCauley. The linesmen tonight in Nashville, Shane Heyer and Brian Pansich. First of two straight through the Central Division for the Coyotes. Kicking off tonight in Nashville will be in Minnesota on Wednesday night. And thanks for joining us tonight on 3TV. You'll be able to watch the game from Minnesota on Wednesday night also right here on 3TV. And these two teams underway here. It'll be the first of two meetings this season in Nashville between the Coyotes and the Predators. As you take a look at the starting lineups and the line combinations in this one, scrolling across the bottom of your screen right now. This one's going to be taken away, and Mikkel Boedker out there right now with Antoine Vermette and Rob Klinkhammer, and that line changes quickly as they dump it deep.
Well, the Phoenix Coyotes, they've had good starts. They just haven't been able to capitalize on opportunities. The other night against the Ducks, outshot them 15-6 in that first period. Talked about it in the opening of this show. You have to bear down and capitalize on those early opportunities. Get that first goal.
Yeah, we talked about it in the open. The starts haven't been bad. They've had a lot of good looks and a lot of shots on goal, but they haven't been able to close it out on some of those flurries. As we get a face-off, they're going to bring this one back at center ice. Just 37 seconds into the opening period tonight from Bridgestone Arena in Nashville.
They've allowed the first goal in both of those losses. We talked about them stopping the bleeding here in this hockey game. And again, scoring that first goal, so important to the Phoenix Coyotes.
Derek Morris out there paired tonight with Keith Yandel. Out of the lineup tonight for the Coyotes, David Rundblad along with Paul Bissonnette. They are the healthy scratches. Also not in the lineup, Lori Korpikoski along with Zbynek McCulloch, and we get a whistle here and another face-off coming up. Well, you look at the coaching wins, and we've got two of the best here tonight. Dave Tippett with those 441. Barry Trotz at 412. Barry Trotz, the longest tenured NHL coach at 1,137 games. And he is the second longest in all of professional sports behind the NBA's Greg Popovich, who's the head coach of the San Antonio Spurs.
Wow, that's a nugget for you right there.
Trying to fire him out early, Tyson, as the puck will be played all the way back inside the zone. Here's an opportunity right to the net, and a follow-up shot, they score. Put home early by number 16, Rich Clune, and it's 1-0.
Well, again, the Coyotes give up that first goal of the hockey game. The bad pinch there, I believe, by Keith Yandel. Jeff Halpern can't get back in time. Derek Morris on an island. Big, juicy rebound there by Mike Smith. And then the Nashville Predators just bury it.
Yeah, good follow move there by Nick Spaulding.
Nick Spaulding, his third of the season.
So Spaulding getting his third from Cullen. It comes at a minute 2. And the puck will be played all the way back down the length of the ice. Roman Josi after it along with David Moss. Coyotes will get it to the line where Stone tries to set it up, but it's turned out by Mike Fisher, and Fisher will dump it all the way back deep.
Yeah, Mike Smith makes that initial save. And that's where when you're talking about defensive zone coverage, that's where you got to help out. Can't get puck focused. You got to worry about your responsibility. And on that goal, that was Spaulding all alone.
Eric Nystrom, good work along the end boards, goes in behind the net. Michael Stone will look to wrap it around, and it's cleared all the way up the ice. So Spaulding from Cullen, and they've added an assist to Craig Smith. It comes in a minute 2. So Nashville out to a quick start here tonight in Music City. Played right back and over the line. Goes in behind the net. Klinkhammer can't get it out. Ellis with a shot. That was blocked away, and the Coyotes will move it out of the zone as it's played along to center for Antoine Vermette. Vermette shot, and that just missed wide to the right. And now down low in the corner. Looking to set it up in front was Bodker. His shot went wide. And the Predators will move it along back through center. This one deflected. And back to get it is Rusty Klesla. So now Rob Klinkhammer with it. Moves it along Bodker. In over the line as he drops for Vermette. Trying to get it back to Bodker. Coyotes trailing 1-0 early on, a minute 2 into the game. Spaulding getting the goal here. As it'll be played in behind the net by Derek Morris. And now back to center ice. Tim Kennedy will dump one in as it goes in behind the net. Now Kennedy battling in the corner as well. Martin Hansel back in the lineup tonight. That's a great sign as Verbata will try to play it to the corner. Derek Morris along the far boards. Leaves for Verbata, and his shot is on. And a good stop there as it's moved all the way back. Stahlberg gets it in over the line, holding his leg wand. Now leg wand across for Kevin Klein, but it's knocked away. And Tim Kennedy will look to outlet it, and he finds Martin Hansel across center. And Hansel will dump one in.
Big boost for the Phoenix Coyotes to get big number 11 back in their lineup.
Into the corner, Dave Moss. Now back out high. Stone across. Ekman Larson. Played into the corner, and rushing after it this time is Matt Cullen, and he'll get it all the way back through center. Cullen over the line, Spaulding with it, but that's intercepted by Ekman Larson. And the Coyotes will bring it right back. Mike Ribeiro with it in over the line. Now Ribeiro drops. Stone with a shot over the top of the Nashville net. Played all the way to the line where Ribeiro will look to keep. Now we get a whistle here, evidently an offside. Let's go back to that goal. Spaulding his third, and it came in a minute 2.
Well, we talked about the pinch. You're going to see Keith Yandel come right in, right here, and that's okay. But it's right here. You look at Jeff Halpern. He's in the wrong position. He should be on that side of the puck. He's not. Leads to the 2-on-1. Cullen, the shot. There's the rebound by Spaulding. Chipchura couldn't get back to pick up the stick of Spaulding, and Mike Smith out of position. Allows Spaulding to put it up and over.
And here we go. It's going to be Matt Hendricks and Kyle Chipchura right off the faceoff. And Kyle Chipchura trying to get free with that right hand. Got in one uppercut. Matt Hendricks used to play in Washington. One of the tougher players in the NHL is Chipchura. The drop of the gloves with him. And not much of a fight.
Yeah, they got both pretty good grips on each other's right arms.
Now Chipchura trying to get that right hand free. Hendricks countering a little bit here as well.
More of a wrestling match than anything. Hendricks has Kyle Chipchura in the chicken wing. Again, just both players tying up that right arm.
Well, Chipchura with 20 penalty minutes on the season. Hendricks checked in at the 24.
Yeah, right there you're going to see the two grapplers going at it. Chipchura trying to spark his team. Down early in this hockey game. They need a little bit of life. And he is unafraid. He will take on anybody.
Both get 5 minutes for fighting at 4:08. As Dave Tippett's team has fallen behind here early on the Spaulding goal at a minute 2. Jeff Halpern's unit out there. Jordan Swartz back in the lineup here tonight. Shane Doan also out there with Yandel and Derek Morris. Morris will bring it along on left wing. Doan gets it back through. Looked along by Swartz. Coyotes will try to keep the zone, but it's played out of there. Back through center ice as this one's going to be dumped all the way down the length of the ice.
Well, Dave Tippett double shifting the captain, Shane Doan. One of their most consistent contributors. Call them stable, healthy and stable. That's why Shane Doan is off to the start that he has had. Typically a slow starter on an 8-game point streak. 7 goals in that span.
Yandel leads the rush, flips one in. And it's played out of the corner, and now Weber will get it in behind the net for Roman Josi, but he's bumped there by Shane Doan. And now back to center ice go the Predators, as this one will be dumped inside that left point area, and chasing it down is Michael Stone. As Ekman Larsson will get it right back to Stone, and the Coyotes break out. Short, crisp passes here as Vermette will angle this one. It goes in behind the net. Eric Mazanets, the goaltender here tonight. Of course, the big injury here in Nashville to their number 1 tender, Pecorine.
They've actually had 4 different goaltenders rotated in there.
Klinkhammer trying to get it out. And yet the Predators hanging around with that overall mark of 11-10-2.
Well, they hang around because they play a solid system game.
Bodker's shot blocked away that time. Now Klinkhammer trying to free it. It's going to pop to Bodker. Now Bodker down low to the corner. With it is Vermette. Vermette to the front. Opportunity there, Ekman Larsson, but he got checked off the puck, but he has it back out high. And across it goes Vermette. Try to get it to the front for Klinkhammer, and it's turned the other way this time, and the Predators will dump it right back in, courtesy of Nick Spaulding.
Well, that's a better shift there by the Phoenix Coyotes, reestablishing that forecheck cycles, so they create a lot of their offense.
Played all the way back, and Mazanets will play it into the corner. This one is flipped all the way back as the Coyotes will chase it down. David Schlemko will leave it there for Rusty Klesla. Now Hansel frees it and gets it out to center. Intended that time for Vrbata, but sent right back in where Smith has to make a save on a bid by Seth Jones. Now Colin Wilson will deflect this one deep as it goes into the corner, and Klesla will play it. Got checked off the puck that time, and Fisher's bid goes wide.
That's one thing you know you're going to get when you play the Predators. They just try to outwork you. What they lack in skill and talent, they make up for in hard work. And right now it's evident they're all over the Coyotes.
Colin Wilson with a blast over the top. Smith might have gotten a piece of that with his glove. Pops back out high. Roman Josi with a shot, and that deflected out high and wide. Good work here as Victor Stahlberg will set it up, and Bourque with a shot and a save off the left hand, and a rebound. Glove save that time, Smith. Big save on Shea Weber, but at the 1:02 mark, it was Nick Spaulding getting his third, and the Predators lead it 1-0.
Nashville Predators do a real good job with the puck possession game. They don't have anything, so they bring it back, make a line change, and away they go. And it's Wilson. The real nice move there. Outside, cuts inside. Pretty good opportunity there, 1-on-4. Barry Trotz will be happy with his hockey club and this start. They are pushing the pace, a lot of offensive zone time, and it's time for the Phoenix Coyotes to get back to work. Dave Tippett talked about the compete level not being good enough. And again,
and the shots early on prior to that fight, Tyson, were 2-2. Since then, 4-0 Nashville. So to your point, the Predators getting their game going here. Right back of the line by Ryan Ellis. He'll dump it in behind the net. Gabriel Bourque is there, and he sets it up in front, and Stahlberg wide open. Gets a shot on goal as Smith makes the save as we take a look at your keys.
Well, discipline. We talked about it. The penalty kill has not been good. 13 power play goals allowed in their last 11 games. They have to capitalize on opportunity. They have outshot the opponent 88-66 in the last 2 games. That's not good enough, though. They have to get to those scoring areas and finish opportunities and quick ups. You want to alleviate this forechecking pressure that we've seen early in this hockey game by the Predators. It's all about that good first pass out of the zone.
Cullen on the faceoff against Antoine Vermette. Coyotes are controlling. They get it back through center ice. Bodker, and racing after it was Vermette, but the Coyotes are offside right at that Nashville blue line.
Now, Mikkel Bodker, he can't pull up before the blue line. Pull up inside the blue line. Use your speed. Mikkel Bodker is one of those guys that has to get going. He's been a little quiet as of late. Only 2 points in his last 8 games. But the good thing on the road, this 2-game little roll here on the road, Mikkel Bodker leads the entire team in scoring with 9 points in 11 games on the road.
And we'll see if he can get a couple here tonight, as this one's going to be moved in by Dave Moss to the corner for Doan. Doan leaving it there for Moss as he'll try to set it up right side. behind the net. Roman Josi now left circle, but it's taken away by Doan. Good work in the corner with Dave Moss. Moss rotates behind the net. Doan, but now Moss again to set it up on that right side. It's been a good unit for head coach Dave Tippett. And Ribeiro joins behind the net for Doan with a shot and getting a piece of that.
Oh, the hot stick there of the captain, Shane Doan. 11 goals this season.
And all the way back, and Smith will steer it around. Now the Predators intercept to the front and a goal. Fisher puts it home. And it's 2-0 in favor of Nashville.
Oh, that's too bad for the Phoenix Coyotes after that solid shift in the Nashville Predator zone. Shane Doan hits the crossbar. Back comes the puck the other way. Mike Smith gets picked off. And there's Mike Fisher in that quiet area. Defensive zone coverage. You look at the Coyotes, they're puck watching. No one picks up Fisher, the most dangerous player on the ice in that area. They're not going to score from the sideboards. They're certainly not going to score below the goal line. That's the guy that you have to pick up.
Well, Mike Fisher at .822, even strength goal, his 4th of the season and first goal in 4 games. Coyotes off the end boards trying to jam it towards the net. Radin Vrbata's there, and now the Coyotes find themselves in a 2-0 hole as this one is played by Schlemko with a shot. Blocked away. And now Schlemko again trying to get it in front, deflected wide that time by Martin Hansel. Goes in behind the net. Stahlberg trying to get it out. Good keep there by Klesla. And it ends up in behind the net where Kevin Klein for Nashville will try to get it out. Legwand taking a bump there from Tim Kennedy. And now Schlemko's stick is broken. And so Klesla will try to bring it along, and Schlemko blocked that one with his skate.
It's one of the forwards has to give Schlemko a stick here.
Back of the line it goes. Weber's shot goes wide. Opportunity out of the corner. This one bounces in front. Weber with a shot that might have hit the broken stick blade en route to the net. Now Moss will flip it in behind the net where Schlemko goes after it.
He's got Dave Moss's stick. He's a left-handed player with a right-handed stick.
They're just trying to get out. As a result, Moss will chase this one down inside the zone. Ribeiro will try to go after it, and it comes all the way back for Keith Yandle. Schlemko is headed to the bench. He'll get a new stick. He's on the bench right now as Morris and Yandle patrolling defensively. And Yandle will send one right back in. Behind the net, Roman Josi, but it's taken away by Klinkhammer. And now Bodker trying to go a strong arm, gets it out high to the front, and it's bouncing around. Yandle will try to get it in front. Morris now at the right point, takes a shot, and that goes wide. Into the corner, now back out high. Morris partially fanned on that opportunity, and it comes all the way back through center. Over the line, a shot is on, and a stop that time on a bid by Craig Smith. Well, Mike Fisher just moments ago has made it 2-0 Nashville.
Welcome back, and we always talk about that quiet area on the ice. You're going to see an example right here. If you stop it here, guys, here's Gabriel Bourque right here. You look at the gap. It's just too big. Kennedy's got to get up, take away that shooting lane. Another scoring chance by the Nashville Predators, and they had 3 or 4. Another one there by Stahlberg just because of those quiet areas, and then the goal. Everybody caught puck watching. Fisher pops out in that quiet area, and it's kind of that go-between there. You know, almost too high for the defenseman, and, you know, just a tough area also for the forward because that winger is trying to, you know, defend against the defenseman as well.
Toughest part of the ice because you have to make a decision if you're a defenseman or a forward, right? I mean,
and good goal scorers exploit that because they know that's a very tough area on the ice to defend.
Into the corner, Rich Clune, and he'll flip it along for Nashville back through center, and that's where Yandle will set it up inside for Morris. Coyotes trying to dig out of a 2-0 hole here tonight early on at Bridgestone Arena in Nashville. Spaulding and Fisher at 102 and 822 respectively for the Predators. First of 2 through the Central on the road for the Coyotes. They've had a steady diet of Pacific Division opponents, and they will see the Predators and Wild on this trip. David Schlemko through center for Martin Hansel, flipping it into the corner, and we'll get a whistle here on the icing call. Downstairs, Todd Walsh.
Guys, in talking to Coyotes head coach Dave Tippett after the skate today, he was sort of defending his team in those last couple of games, those losses back at home, saying, hey, look, we were chasing, the game starts to break down, you take more chances. But in the same breath, he also said he actually likes the fact this team will be out on the road 6 of the next 7, I believe, because as he said, it forces you to dig in and play a much harder game, more disciplined game. But I don't think he dreamt about being down 2-0 midway through the first. Do you?
No, again, Walshy, just the same mistakes. The compete level has not been there. The details of the game, defensive zone coverage, stuff they've been trying to clean up, just has not been there consistently.
Tim Kennedy brings it in over the line, trying to set something up on the right side for Hansel. A couple of 11s there, Hansel and Legwand. The puck will be played in behind the net, but Radim Vrbata that time couldn't set it up. And so Kevin Klein will bring it along through center. Klesla trying to block that one on the entry for Stahlberg, and it's played deep by Schlemko. Back to center ice, Vrbata. Sends one wide. Shift change on, so the lone player in there for the Coyotes, Hansel. Now joining the fray is Shane Doan. Hansel will go to the bench, and it's the Doan line back out there with Ribeiro and Moss. Now Shane Doan's going to try to move it along the near boards. Doan in a pretty good battle there with Eric Nystrom, and now it'll be taken away, and the Coyotes will get it out.
More players on this Coyotes team need to follow the lead of the captain, Shane Doan. Really one of the guys that is going right now offensively.
Chance to the front. Up into that time was Moss, and back the other way come the Predators. Backhander stopped that time by Smith. It's underneath. Comes in front. Weber's down there, and we're going to whistle as Nystrom came in as well.
Well, twice now we've seen an opportunity in one end, and back come the Predators the other way. Coyotes come out. I believe it was Moss on a stop. Beautiful feed there by Ribeiro. And then back come the Nashville Predators. Oliver Ekman-Larsson, a bad pinch. And Wilson just throws a muffin. Mike Smith can't get it. Shea Weber right there on the doorstep as well. Looking for his 7th of the season. Mike Smith looking behind him, having a hard time early in this hockey game.
So Cullen sets in for Antoine Vermette. We've seen this matchup quite a bit here in the early going tonight in the first. And Keith Yandle to play it. Intended for Klinkhammer, picked off by Ryan Ellis. Good stick there by Yandle, and that allows Klinkhammer to move it along for Bodker. Bodker right to the front, and stopped that time by Mazanets. Well, don't forget, 2013 holiday packs are available now. Choose from one of 4 packages that includes 4 games and an exclusive autograph mini stick starting at $118. Quantities limited. Reserve yours by calling 480-563-PUCK. Coyotes get a rare offensive zone face-off here, Tyson, to the left of Marek Mazanets.
Now they're outshot 9-4, 9-5 now. Getting shots has been a strong point in the last 2 games, even though they lost those games. Right now they're having a hard time creating any offense.
Craig Smith over the line, into the corner for Nick Spaulding. Took a bump that time from Morris. Nearly picked off by Cullen. Through center now, Bodker. He'll lead it in over the Nashville line. Bodker going backhand, and that goes right through the crease. And all the way back, and now Schlemko will set it up. Klesla looks to move it along. And this one is backhanded deep by Shane Doan. Right up there with Victor Bartley. And now the other way for Wilson. He's in. Wilson. And he's stopped by Smith. What a save as Smith loses his stick in the process.
I'm not sure how Wilson got behind David Schlemko on that one. Sure if Wilson came out for a line change, but unreal.
What a stop that time by Smith. Taken away. Wilson tried to throw it back out high. Shot on and a stop by Smith. And he continues to play without a goalie stick. Into the corner and in behind the net, Fisher. Now Fisher with a wide turn. Coyotes need a clear here. Goes down low and in behind the net. Wide turn. Yossi tried to get it in front. This one's going to be knocked away and moved out of there this time by Dave Moss, and he'll dump one in. Oh, what a sequence there for goaltender Mike Smith.
Real nice job there. Allows him to get out and grab his stick.
Another chance in over the line, and a pass goes wide by Victor Stahlberg. Bourque now. Played to the corner, and picking it off is Kyle Chipchura. He'll skate it out. Chipchura trying to play it into the corner. Icing is waved off. Now Chipchura back out high. Got it there for Halpern. His shot was blocked away before it got to the Nashville net. Chipchura all the way back for Michael Stone, who goes behind the net for Ekman Larsson. Now Halpern will move it along all the way back to the line, where it's taken away this time by Matt Cullen. All the way back. Here come the Predators again, left side. Big hip check that time by Michael Stone. So Tim Kennedy will bring it along. Kennedy will skate it out. Here he comes. Kennedy in over the line, trying to go wide, through it to the front, and a stop by Mazanets. Now in behind the net, Predators will try to wrap it around. Eric Morris trying to keep it there. Played back to the line and flipped deep by Rich Clune as we get a whistle here on the offside. What a sequence just moments ago. Mike Smith just stonewalling Colin Wilson.
Welcome back, 2-0 Predators. Another breakdown here by the Coyotes. And how about this outlet pass? A bomb right past everyone. Wilson sneaks somehow behind Schlemko. And Mike Smith with a beauty of a save. Right there. Not sure if he gets a piece of that or he hits the post. He's going to have to be good the rest of the way.
Great sequence for Mike Smith, and the Coyotes pretty loose here defensively in this opening period. Nashville's taking advantage. Hansel sends one in. And now Gaustad will play it into the corner, and Seth Jones will bring it back. And all the way back in, and Derek Morris will set it up in behind the net. Tim Kennedy that time with a hit, played around and in behind the net where Morris will go after it. Good stick there. Now Radim Vrbata behind the net to set it up for Keith Yandle. And Nashville doing a great job off the ice, pressuring deep in the corners as now Morris will play it along back through center, and this one will be dumped all the way back.
Well, Nashville is playing a lot like the Phoenix Coyotes want to play and how they typically play. They got to get back to that hard-nosed, hard-working hockey. Plain and simple, the Preds are just outworking them right now.
Klinkhammer over the line with a shot that's deflected wide. Bodker deep, and he'll find Klinkhammer in behind the net. Now going after it, Vermette. Vermette tied up there by Mike Fisher. In to help out Bodker. Now Bodker on that right side, trying to work it in behind the net. Great by Roman Josi. They have a pretty good battle going in behind the net. Now Klinkhammer is there, tied up with Mike Fisher. The forwards have been doing a nice job here for Nashville defensively in this opening 20 from Bridgestone Arena. Wilson finds a wide open Fisher, and that's blocked away. Now Colin Wilson drops it there for Fisher. Antoine Vermette tied up, as is Michael Stone. Played to the line, Weber. Flipped into the corner, Wilson in a one-on-one with Oliver Ekman Larsson before Stone will swoop in. And he'll try to get it outside the zone as he plays it back through center. And this one's going to be an icing call. Boy, he had Bodker right there. Unfortunately, an icing against Phoenix.
Well, looking for a great place to entertain clients or host your next company party? Luxury suite rentals at Jobbing.com Arena are available for all Coyote games and upcoming world-class concerts. Call 623-772-388 or email suites@phoenixcoyotes.com. Whoa. Tough one spitting that one out.
It's a long promo.
That is a long one. I appreciate you giving me that one.
They're never short, are they? Played all the way back. Now Michael Stone gets it up the ice, intended for Bodker. This one will go all the way down, and Mazanets will play it in behind the net. Interesting little nugget that Mazanets, during the lockout a year ago, played with Martin Hansel overseas. Czech Republic players is to be moved back in. Stahlberg to the front, and a goal. And it's 3-0. Gabriel Bourque.
Another breakdown by the Phoenix Coyotes. Just too much speed. The Predators just blowing through the neutral zone. Legwand up the ice. You look at Bourque. Just cuts right down Broadway, right in between Klesla, and Schlemko doesn't pick him up. And he finishes it off with a beauty. Forehand, backhand, upstairs by Bourque.
So Bourque at 18-27, and the Coyotes now trail this one 3-0. Stahlberg will get one of the assists. Bourque getting his fourth.
A nice pass there by Stahlberg. Just feathers it right underneath Klesla's stick. And Bourque all alone.
So Kennedy right back out there as he'll play it along for Martin Hansel with a shot, and a stop that time by Mazanec. Out of the zone for Klein as he'll play it along. Seth Jones trying to get it deep. And Klesla will wrap it around. Hansel. And this one is played all the way back by Kevin Klein. What a period here for the Nashville Predators as we roll under a minute remaining. Now Jeff Smith in the corner trying to set it up. Will be moved out of there and back to center ice for Kyle Chipchura. Kyle Chipchura behind the net against Roman Josi. Comes in front, but it's cleared away. And flipped out of there and all the way back to center. Inside the zone, Ekman Larsson advancing it. And now it's picked off. And back it over the line. A shot. Hendricks just trickles wide. He had a goal in that game back on Halloween in Phoenix. 12 seconds remaining in the opening period. Swartz battling in behind the net. Now it's taken away by Halpert. And Michael Stone will ship it in behind the net, and that's going to do it for what turned out to be a period that the Phoenix Coyotes, I'm sure, would love to forget.
And the Nashville Predators fans giving them an ovation here at the Bridgestone Arena, and rightfully so. It's all about the battle and compete level in that first period. Dave Tippett will not be happy. Defensive zone coverage, too, very evident. Not good enough. 3-0 Preds.
So 3-0 Nashville, end of one tonight in Music City. Stick around. When we come back, Todd Walsh will take over our intermission from here at Music City. Welcome back to Music City, Nashville, Tennessee. 3-0 Predators leading the Coyotes. And, you know, this was the score after one on Halloween in Glendale. Tyson, we got them right where we want them.
Exactly. The Coyotes have come back more than once against more teams in
Jordan
the past.
Swartz,
Yeah, Swartz got things started. Fortuitous bounce off Klein, and then Antoine Vermette ties it up. You know this is in the back of the Nashville Predators' mind. I can guarantee you. The Coyotes, as we talked about, need to get back to work. I'm sure Dave Tippett had something to say about it in between periods.
Well, the Coyotes have trailed by 2+ goals and come back for a point in 5 games so far this season. We'll see if they can do it again here. Trying to throw that positive mojo on this one here tonight.
Well, that's one thing we know for sure, and all the Coyotes fans know at home, that this team is never out of it until that final horn goes.
By the way, a little activity, a little commotion up here in the press box at Bridgestone Arena between periods is a little field mouse.
Zipping around here. Stuart Little was wheeling around, nibbling on your peanuts.
They were, I think that mouse was living in your mow.
That's thick enough.
Oh, easy. Don't get carried away. Got another week with this beast growing out underneath my nose.
Mine's getting so bushy I had to shampoo and condition it today. It's taking on a life of its own.
Heavy product as we get set here for the second period. Mike Smith. So I have to believe in, 18 years, that's the first mouse I've ever seen scurry across a press area.
I have to say I've seen a rat
Really?
in the Joe. No surprise there.
Well, you're right next to the river there that leads into Canada as the play is underway here in the second period, and Coyotes will set it up inside of their own zone. Derek Morris now. Hauling down was Tim Kennedy, so Yandel will play it right back for Derek Morris. A little bit of a regroup game going on here as the Coyotes try to keep possession, and Tim Kennedy will send one into the corner. Tyson, you've been behind, I'm sure, in your career, 3-0 after one. What's it like in the room? What goes on?
It's awfully quiet in that locker room, and I'm sure that was the case here today. Who knows? Maybe Dave Tippett didn't even come in the locker room. I'm sure it was the captains that lead the charge, as they often do on this Phoenix Coyotes team. Some of the best leaders in the game. A guy like Shane Doan leads by example. He was probably the best Coyote in that first period. Look at Tim Kennedy.
Yeah, he got a regular shift in that opening 20.
Yeah, and he's been good in his time here with the Coyotes. 4 points in 8 games.
Played off the end boards. Coyotes jamming it towards the front. And it'll be moved along and out of the zone all the way up the ice. Colin Wilson has it for Nashville. Fisher lets it go and rolls in behind the net for Eric Nystrom, but it's taken away, and the Coyotes will look to set it up. Oliver Ekman-Larsson now. And he'll flip it in behind the net for Michael Stone. Played all the way back. Doan sized up there by Shea Weber. Coyotes trying to set it up, and it's taken away, and quickly through center ice. Roman Josi, the defenseman, with a shot, and a stop that time by Smith. Colin Wilson looking to set it up, and it's turned the other way and out of the zone all the way back through center where the Predators will reset. Played right back in that time by Ryan Ellis. Leslie goes after it. Stahlberg is there as well. Now Gabriel Bourque, one of the goal scorers, throws one through the front. And back to center for Moss before it goes off a Bourque skate and all the way back where Smith will play.
Mike Smith gets knocked into there. Referee watching it the whole way.
Played right back at over the line. Yeah.
Put the back leg.
Back out high and now across. Klesla with a shot. And that was blocked out high by Bourque. Kyle Chipchura and Bodker with it. Racing down, that time was Yandel, but he lost it, and it's turned the other way, and Stahlberg will bring it along. Victor Stahlberg holding up, gets it across. Bartley shoots, and a stop, and a rebound. Legwand can't buy that. He was tied up by Antoine Vermette.
Oh, nice job there by Vermette is right. Just gets enough of Legwand's stick. And here is the play we were talking about. Mike Smith playing the puck, throws it to his defenseman, gets his right leg clipped there by Stahlberg. Stahlberg just ran out of real estate as he tried to sneak between the net and Mike Smith. So a good non-call there by the referee. It's either that or he runs right into Smith.
Coyotes and Predators get a face-off to the right of the Phoenix goaltender. 15-7 the shots favoring Nashville right now. Those 3 goals in the opening period from Nick Spaulding, Mike Fisher, and Gabriel Bourque. A real good start here tonight for Nashville. Campbell tying up his man. Good battle along the boards too. Michael Stone down low. Excuse me, that's Swartz. Campbell and Morris still the defensive pairing, and in behind the net Halpern. And now Morris tries to throw it back out high and nearly taken away, and finally Klinkhammer will bring it along. Klinkhammer chipping it into the corner, but the Coyotes are offside.
Well, we talked about that shot by Stone. Set play here with the active boards. And if you stop it right here, you're going to see the shot, and it's going to go wide, and it's going to be just banked right off the end boards. Ribeiro picks it up. He knows it's coming. Just can't get a backhand on it. Very lively boards here at Bridgestone Arena. A lot like at the Joe, as we were just talking about. Very active. Players were actually working on that today. Just trying to find that sweet spot to get that real big bounce. Ribeiro almost
in close.
Yep.
Costa gets chased out of the circle, so Hansel in on the face-off against Matt Hendricks. Back through center, and now Schlemko settle it down for the Coyotes. Out of the zone, Klesla, he'll dump one in. Verbata that time, and Clune takes a little bit of a shot at Radim Verbata as the puck is played all the way back, and Seth Jones will give it off there. Now Seth Jones races it back to center. Had to give it off there, but it's picked off by Radim Verbata. Now Verbata with room, got it right through the crease, and a chance here for Kennedy, possibly on a rebound before it's batted away and cleared by Gaustad, and now back to center ice for Matt Hendricks, who will backhand one deep.
That's one thing the Nashville Predators do a real good job of, is after the shot, they really do a nice job boxing out, not allowing the forwards of the Coyotes to get to the front of the net. That was a real good example there by Gaustad. He didn't even know where the puck was. He was just so focused about his man, which was Bodker.
Nystrom will play it along all the way back inside the zone, where Oliver Ekman-Larsson gives chase against Colin Wilson. Now Wilson with a puck, dangling on Ekman-Larsson, comes back out high, and it's going to be taken away by Shane Doan. And the Coyotes will bring it back through center ice. Mike Ribeiro in over the line, leaves it for Ekman-Larsson. Now Ekman-Larsson will play it in behind the net, intended that time for Ribeiro as Moss goes after it. Now Ribeiro to set it up. Mike Ribeiro holding on to it, gets it out high, and Doan with a shot, and a left pad save that time by Mazanets. Stone will play to the corner. Sharp angle bid that time for Shane Doan as Ribeiro will play it. Now all the way back to center ice, Michael Stone trying to settle it down. Colin Wilson trying to get around him. And trying to force it inside the zone, and Roman Josi will turn for Gabriel Borg. He got checked off the puck by Bodker, so the Coyotes will look to set it up. Now Mikkel Bodker will bring it across center ice as he tries to bring it in with speed. Played into the corner. Goes down low. Chipchura trying to work it out of that right side. Vermette across. Now Yandel trying to get it back to the middle. Chipchura was there. Into the corner, and that's where it'll be played in behind the net. Chipchura and Vermette down low for the Coyotes. Back of the line, Morris. Yandel, shot. That was blocked out high. Victor Bartley in a battle there with Mikkel Bodker. Coyotes try to keep the zone. Good sequence here for the Phoenix Coyotes. Chipchura, but he threw it right to the skate that time of Victor Stahlberg, and so the Predators will bring it out.
A lot better shift there by the Phoenix Coyotes. All started with just a simple dump in. Mikkel Bodker gets to it. The cycle continues. That's what the Coyotes need more of.
Well, we get an icing call. Don't forget, Coyotes tailgating returns Saturday when the Coyotes take on the defending Cup champion Chicago Blackhawks. All sorts of fun, including live music from Adrenaline featuring Charlie. Begins at 2 in the afternoon. For tickets and all the details, visit PhoenixCoyotes.com. You can get your tailgate on. Should be good weather this weekend, and certainly a happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there.
That's right.
Looks like we're going to get a timeout here called by the Nashville Predators, so Barry Trotz probably not all that thrilled with the way the game has turned a little bit in terms of momentum over the last 3 or 4 minutes.
And that's just Phoenix getting back to simplifying their game, working hard. But Nashville, they do a real good job of covering guys, their defensive zone.
And they're doing it without Pekka Rinne. Keep that in mind. Marek Mazanec going tonight for the Predators. Carter Hutton, we saw him in Phoenix. And the numbers, 3 and 3.
4
Mazanec.
different goaltenders this year for the Nashville Predators. And you're talking about one of the most important positions on your hockey club. No Pekka Rinne, and these guys have really plugged those holes.
Pekka Rinne still sidelined with that hip infection.
Still walking around on crutches, I saw, so you know it's going to be a long, long time.
He was here this morning at the skates, and we hope he can get healthy. This one is denied, and that time Yandel up ice trying to pinch a little bit there. Dave Moss going to try to take it away, and now Shane Doan after it as well. Mike Ribeiro plays it for Doan, and he'll get one inside the zone as Moss races after it. Moss and Nystrom tie each other up. Ribeiro has it left corner. Trying to get one in front that ends up in behind the net. Schlemko down low. And it's taken away, and a play to the line where Doan will force it right back in. Mike Ribeiro out high. Schlemko with a shot and a glove save by Mazanec. 3-0 Nashville, second period.
Walsh on the Coyotes bench with assistant coach Newell Brown. Newell, I won't linger here. What did you as a staff ask of your team in this second period, and have you seen it?
Well, we just didn't play a very good road period. We gave them way too much ice to work with. We just have to simplify in the second period, and that means what we've just done the last couple of shifts. We kept it simple. We gained our blue line, the red line, the offensive blue line. We chipped pucks in behind their defensemen. We put pressure on them, and we started spending more time in their end. Now we've got to shoot a little bit more. When the trigger time comes to shoot it, we've got to put it on the net and test this goalie a little bit more.
Thank you, Coach.
You're welcome.
By the way, Tyson, I can confirm Dave Tippett did talk to his troops between periods. I know a guy who confirmed that. We'll send it back to you.
Well, I'm sure he had a lot to say to his group, no doubt about it. We get back to work. Good stuff by Newell Brown. Break it down for us.
And he's right, because the momentum has shifted a little bit. The Coyotes have had put together several shifts that have been very effective, but they still trail 3-0.
And just build off of that. That's what they need. There's too many passengers in this hockey game again. You really got one full line that's out here working and battling and playing the right way. Need the rest of the three lines to get it on.
Kennedy that time in the corner getting some help from Radim Vrbata. Big battle right wing side of that zone inside the Nashville end of the ice. Tim Kennedy all over it, and a chance there. Vrbata can't go to the backhand. Now Martin Hansel in behind the net. Hansel going to try to chip it along. Vrbata rotates it to the line, but Ekman Larsson couldn't keep.
But look at the coverage by Nashville. It's just a blanket of yellow, whatever that color is, all over the Coyotes. Every time they touch the puck, even in a scoring area, you don't really get to really lean into a shot because they're right on, giving you a little interference.
Play now for Morris. In that first period, I thought their forwards were excellent offensively. Mike Fisher made some really nice plays as this one is sent in by Halpern, and a glove save there by Mazanec. Out of the line it goes. Yandel, his shot goes wide. Played all the way back to center ice, and now chasing it is Yandel. And Craig Smith in behind the net, can't catch up to Yandel, and out of the zone it goes. Intended that time for Jordan Swartz. Now back the other way as it's sent right back in, but Matt Cullen couldn't handle it. So the Coyotes just settling down as time rolls on. They need a little love in the goal category.
Got more shots, as Newell Brown talked about.
Yeah, just 11 so far for the game.
Yeah, test this goaltender at 88 shots in their last two games. Find a way to get back to that a little bit.
Played along, Legwand in over the line for Nashville to set it up. Got it right to the net, and a save there by Mike Smith, and he elects to hold on to get a faceoff. Well, we just mentioned David Legwand, and you look at some of the elder statesmen, if you will. Got to be careful how I phrase that because Shane Doan's on the list. But 19 points, Shane 37 years old. David Legwand has been here since the beginning for the Nashville Predators, now 33. Hard to believe that. He's got 19 points just like the Coyotes captain.
Well, we talk about Shane Doan all the time and how he leads by example. How about the other day in practice? After the practice, he's still out there for another half an hour after everyone's left, still shooting pucks. He wanted to play a little 3-on-3 with some of the coaching staff. I mean, he loves the game. At 37 years old, 19 years in the league, he's still trying to get better.
Well, the work ethic is unmatched. It's amazing how much time he spends on the ice. Takes absolutely nothing for granted. That's one of his great personal attributes, as this puck is played off the boards and back to the line. Klesla with a chance, and that was blocked away, but here's Vermette. Now Vermette sent one right to the net. They score! And that somehow trickled past Marek Mazanec. Now the Coyotes are on the board.
Well,
it's
there
3-1.
you go. There you go. Throw the puck at the net. Good things happen. They really haven't tested Mazanec here tonight, and they're giving this one to Antoine Vermette. This puck, though, does not go in. if not for the play of Mikkel Bakker. Bakker's going to go right to the net. Chipchura there as well. I'm not sure if that hits the shaft of Chipchura's stick, but it finds a little daylight, I believe, between the legs. Mazan, a huge goal for Antoine Vermette. Give them some life. That bench is now on their feet. They're feeling good, and they're in the game.
So Oliver Ekman-Larsson will set it up for Michael Stone. Vermette getting his 7th at 9:34. So all that hard work over the last 6 or 7 minutes pays off in a goal here for the Coyotes. And now out of the zone it goes as Colin Wilson will flip it along, and he gets it right back on right wing. Wilson threw into the front, and it's batted away by Smith. The Coyotes will bring it right back through center. With it is Doan. Tried to drop it off there, taken away by Nystrom, and now Wilson up the ice again. Colin Wilson over the line, he drops it. Weber with a shot, and a save there by Mike Smith. Antoine Vermette, 9:34 the second period, and he's gotten the Coyotes back into it.
Another look at the goal here, Antoine Vermette. Good things happen. Throw it on the net. Look at the traffic in front. Right there. That puck doesn't go in if not for Chipchura and Mikkel Bakker. The double screen just finds its way into the back of the net.
By the way, they've given an assist on the goal to Kyle Chipchura, so he's 2/3 of the way to the Gordie Howe here tonight. The Gordie Howe hat trick.
Had one of those already this year. Yeah, you're right.
We'll wait to see if they add a second assist on the goal, but more importantly, Vermette getting the Coyotes to within 2 here tonight in Nashville. And a much better second period.
Yeah, much better. Whatever Dave Tippett did say between periods has worked.
Jones, glove save Smith, and they'll redo it to the left of the Coyotes' goal.
And adjustments. Hockey is a game of mistakes. When mistakes are made, adjustments are needed. Dave Tippett, one of the best in the league at making those adjustments to make sure his team is well aware of the game plan.
By the way, just the single assist on the Vermette goal, it goes to Kyle Chipchura. And the time again, 9:34. Puck played with a high stick in the corner that time by Derek Morris, and so they'll whistle it down and set for the face-off. What are they doing differently in the second that they did do in the first, Tyson? Is just tightening it up or working?
That's part of the game plan.
Yep.
Is old-fashioned hard work. That's how this team has to play. Yeah, they've scored a ton of goals this year, but their foundation is their hard work. When you play the Phoenix Coyotes, much like the Nashville Predators, you know you're in for one.
Zanitz will play this to the corner. Rich Kuhn looks to get it out, and here comes Nashville. Matt Hendricks. Stopped that time by Derek Morris. And now back up the ice. Hendricks will get it back and over the line. Kuhn down low as well for Nashville. Line kicks it along. Coyotes get it out. And Radim Vrbata will lead the rush in over the Nashville blue line. Vrbata's got a little room. He takes a shot, and it was up high. But Mazanec makes the save.
Oh, he'll gladly take that shot. But 3 Nashville Predators just flew right by him on the back check. Good play there by Kennedy. He's going to stop up here. Watch the numbers. You got all 5 Predators just fly right by him. It's like, all right, I'll tee this baby up. Rips it. Nobody in front, though.
And so much of today's game is all about creating space. And we saw that on the other side of the first period when Nashville had a lot of space. That time, Radim Vrbata with a nice job to create space for himself.
Yeah, good speed through the neutral zone. Creating havoc.
And behind the net, Bodker trying to set it up, and it's going to be moved for Victor Bartley through center. Over the line it goes, and this one is played by Smith, and we'll get a whistle and a stoppage. When you look at the goals and the differential of goals by periods for the Coyotes, and everybody knows that's been watching this team throughout the season, Tyson, it gets better as the game goes on. No different here tonight.
Yeah, you look at the third period, a +10. That's second in the National Hockey League. That's their best period. They're starting to warm up here, getting their road legs, if you will.
Funny how that happens is Halpern's going to get chased out of the face-off circle, so Jordan Swartz in. Bartley with the puck off the face-off, comes in front, and a shot taken that time by Cullen is stopped by Mike Smith. Now Cullen again in front, and he fired it over the top. Cullen complaining, thought he might have been held onto. Now into the corner, Klesla upends him. And the Coyotes will try to get it out, and they do. Back through center ice. Here's an opportunity. Klinkhammer over the line, feathers one to the front, and it Swartz right there, but he can't get it past Marek Mazanec.
What an opportunity here by the Phoenix Coyotes. Good breakout, clean breakout. We talked this being one of the keys to the game. Speed to the neutral zone, Klinkhammer, little stop up. Nice play there, right under Legwand's stick to Swartz. Swartz really didn't have a chance to make a move, just kind of poked at it. That's good stuff there by the Coyotes. Hard work and shift.
Bodker wins the draw. Forced in behind the net by Ekman Larsson. To the corner now, Ribeiro. Bodker. And that's knocked away and cleared by Fisher back through center ice. Out to play it is Smith. He'll send behind the net. Colin Wilson. Walked up there with Ekman Larsson. The battle along the far boards. Ekman Larsson and Colin Wilson now, and it's taken away. Dave Moss. Now the other way, Fisher has it, overskated it. Gives it off, Yossi right in, he shoots, and a save that time by Mike Smith. Well, if you didn't see Charlie Coyle's dangle deke shootout goal the other night, you'll see him and the rest of his Wild teammates Wednesday night right here on 3 TV. Tyson, Todd, and myself will bring you the action starting at 6 from St. Paul, Minnesota.
Is that a move? And are they on fire right now?
8-1-1 are the Wild over their last 10 heading into that game tonight in St. Louis.
Does not get any easier.
Gabriel Bourque with a shot, sharp angle, and that's handled by Smith.
It has been a battle, as good as the Coyotes have been this year. And we've talked about it, almost setting a franchise record for wins to start a season. They're still just right in the mix. Good save there by Mike Smith.
To secure a playoff spot right now, I think it's the pace is well over 100 games. That will eventually cancel out to a degree when you have teams matching up down the stretch and same divisions and within the conference and all that. But it could be a record-setting point total that will take to get you into the postseason.
No question. Everyone around the NHL knows the toughest division is, and it's the Pacific, and the Coyotes
to the front, a chance there, follow move, they score! And it's Tim Kennedy, and he's made it 3-2.
First for Kennedy. And it's a beauty. This is just hard work. Again, throw the puck on net. Martin Hanzal in the vicinity, taking a few bodies with him. Keith Yandel throws it up. Nice little play in the neutral zone, give and go. Verbata just throws it at the net. Hanzal with the poke. And Kennedy just backhander, no looker. And he finds that far right post. That's a big goal. And again, momentum, we always talk about it. How important it is. Nashville has kind of caught sleeping here, playing a lot like the Coyotes did in that first period.
And don't forget, Halloween night in Glendale, the Coyotes trailed the Predators 3-0. Not making this up. They trailed 3-0 here on this Thanksgiving week, and now it's 3-2. Kennedy is first at the 13-minute mark. Martin Hanzal's going to pick up an assist as well. Goes in behind the net. Gaustad is there. Gaustad got muscled off the puck that time by Ekman Larsson. Ekman Larsson gets clubbed. Penalty coming up here. It's going to go against Nashville. So the Coyotes will set it up. I don't know if Mike Smith's aware of it. Now he'll head to the bench. Delayed call. Bodker brings it along. In over the line, falls down, and we get the whistle here. The Coyotes will go to a power play.
Well, what an opportunity, and one of the keys to the game also was be disciplined. Can't afford to take penalties. The Coyotes have not taken a single penalty in this hockey game tonight. It's going to be Clune. The retaliation pretty much because of that hit by Oliver Ekman Larsson a half second before that Clune comes in and buries him from behind. So the Coyotes, they would love to tie this game up on the power play. 7 power play goals in their last 7 games.
Clune goes for boarding. Coyotes go to the power play, and they get it out high. Ekman Larsson will take a shot, and that bounced in. But Mazanec will play to the corner.
Coyotes went 0 for 4 last game because no Martin Hanzal. He's back.
Opportunity, Yandel in front. It bounces around, and it's cleared by Shea Weber.
He's back, and he's in front of the net. That was the redirect by big Martin Hanzal. They miss that big body. Get the puck to an area, and he will outmuscle you and outreach you.
Hanzal, Ribeiro, Vrbata up front. Ekman Larsson and Yandel was the point man. 1:22 to go on this power play as Nashville will send it all the way down the length of the ice. Coyotes trailed 3-0 at the end of one. They potted a pair here in the second. And they have a chance here on the man advantage to tie the hockey game. Ribeiro gets it back and over the line, holding his Yandel as the Coyotes look to set it up. Yandel back out high. Ekman Larsson for Yandel. Now Ekman Larsson, across it goes. Vrbata tried to knife it down low, taken away by Seth Jones, but he can't clear. Ekman Larsson flips it. Now here's Ribeiro. Everything goes through Mike Ribeiro. Ribeiro back out high, but Ekman Larsson can't hold, and he'll have to go back to get it.
Oh, pretty nifty passing there. Nothing really to show for it, though. 3 or 4 unreal little saucer passes up top on that blue line.
Moss will get it back and over the line. Dave Moss just trying to battle it right to the front of the net. And Seth Jones will clear it down the length of the ice. So 20 seconds left in that. A minor penalty to Rich Clune. Coyotes late here on their first power play of the evening. Out of the zone, Schlemko dumps it into the corner, goes right after it. And David Schlemko trying to set it up, but it's cleared away to the line. Stone kept. And now Weber will clear. So Clune is out, and the Predators kill it off. This one over Shea Weber's stick, and Mazanec will play it away and out of the zone for Legwand. Over the line, Victor Stahlberg. Little pull-up move there. Here's a chance, Weber, and he sent it wide. Legwand out of the corner. Got it to the front again, and that's played to the line, but a great keep by Weber.
I don't see Shane Doan out there.
Comes back in front, and now Stone will ship it in behind the net. And around the boards and out. Roman Josi, nice little spin move there on Bodker. Over the line it goes, but Stone will chip this one away, and he gets it out as Chipchura clears it to center. Now this one's picked off, and Bodker has it. Gets it back and over the line. Drops it, Yandel going down low. Tried to throw to the front. Now Yandel nearly intercepted it before it's turned by Cullen. Predators get it back through center ice, and Gabriel Bourque will send one deep. 17 minutes played here in this second period. Coyotes trailing 3-2. The late offside is canceled out. Seth Jones has it. Back and over the line before it's played all the way back and batted back inside the Nashville blue line.
I don't think I see Shane Doan on that bench right now. He's a big part of that power play. Leads the team with 6 power play goals. He wasn't out there for any of those 2 minutes. Let's hope he's okay.
Behind the net, Derek Morris. And Swartz plays it along for Halpern. Flips it in deep, going after it is the Nashville's Kevin Klein. Played all the way back to center for Schlemko. Countering his Hanzal. Brings it back and over the line. Dishes to Klinkhammer with a chance in front, and a stop there by Mazanec. Coyotes battling back. Tim Kennedy in front. A little backhand sauce there. 3-2. Good look there at Tim Kennedy, and the former Sparty with a big goal at the 13-minute mark, his first of the season.
I'll take a look at this. Watch Kennedy coming into the picture. Watch between the legs. Backhand. Back of the net. Unbelievable. What a play. Not bad for your first of the year. Tim Kennedy, a big goal too, to carry on the momentum of this hockey game. All of a sudden down 3-0. 3-2 the score right now.
Big goals here in the second. Not only Kennedy, but Antoine Vermette got him on the board at 9:34. And it's been a completely different second period here from a Coyotes perspective in Nashville. But they still trail by one as this one is going to be moved out, and Michael Stone will set it up. Hansel across and Ekman Larsson to Stone. Sends one off the end boards. Chasing it down is Kennedy. Got upended. And now Roman Josi in behind the net. He'll play it there for Gaustad. Kennedy getting an opportunity up there with René Verbaden. Martin Hansel here tonight.
He was good 2 games ago when he played with this line against the Avalanche. The injuries last game. The line's being shuffled all over the place with Martin Hansel going down with that injury. Didn't have that same opportunity, but he's back. He's the guy that's taken advantage of extra ice time that the coach, Dave Tippett, has given him.
Played along, and Kyle Chipchurro will move it there. Nystrom with a heavy hit on Michael Stone as we go under a minute remaining. Chipchurro going after it. And he's trying to put on some late period heat. Stone got that one to the line, but it's picked off. Here's Colin Wilson backing over the line. Trying to get around Ekman Larsson. Now Colin Wilson out high. Nystrom with a shot. Never made it to the net.
Good block there by Stone. They're picking up physically here.
Yeah, the Predators countering now with a little late period lightning of their own. And Smith will play it in behind the net in that trapezoid, and he gives it off for Ekman Larsson. Michael Stone out of the zone, back through center. Now Jones for Cullen across center. 15 to go in the period. Spalling has it, try to get it in front. This one's going to be deflected away as Klinkhammer will race it up. 8 seconds to go in the period. Seth Jones will take it away. And Seth Jones will bring it out, and that's going to do it here for the middle frame tonight from Nashville. You know, if you go back to that game on Halloween, Tyson, it was 3-0 Predators at the end of one. After 2 in that game, take a wild guess at what the score was.
3-2?
How about that?
Holy.
And that's what we have here tonight.
What a period by the Phoenix Coyotes. Outstanding. They have turned the tables on the Nashville Predators. Their biggest 20 minutes yet to play.
Todd with Tim Kennedy. We'll also have the Movember update and stats and highlights in our second intermission. It was all Nashville in the opening period, but Barry Trotz has got to be scratching his head because Vermette and Kennedy able to score in the second. And the Coyotes trail through 2, 3-2. This Hockey on 3TV is brought to you by Coors Light. When cold refreshment calls, Coors Light answers. Frost brewed Coors Light, the game's most refreshing beer. Welcome back as the Coyotes trail the Nashville Predators 3-2. Getting set for the third period of play. Good look there in the forefront of Tim Kennedy, one of the 2 goals. He made it 3-2, and Antoine Vermette on the right, who had gotten the Coyotes on the board back at 9:34.
Vermette's 7th and Kennedy's 1st. Who's next?
Well, is it that time when we take a player to see who's going to get this thing tied? What do you think? Who ties it here tonight for the Coyotes?
Well, I'm going to go Dave Moss.
Ooh.
Going off the board. It's been a while. It's been all over it. Still, I don't believe I see the captain, Shane Doan, on that bench. Good look at the group there.
You know what? I'm going daily double. I'm going Antoine Vermette. Coming right back. We'll see what unfolds. Underway in the third. Kevin Klein will try to get it out of the zone for the Predators. Back through center, Yandel, and he'll flip it right back in. So Seth Jones, the rookie, will pick it up as he brings it along. Big step-up move there by Martin Hansel to break that play up. And it's Derek Morris for Keith Yandel. Coyotes trailed 3-0 in this hockey game. They battled back to make it a 1-goal game. Played all the way down that time and in behind the net. Predators will try to set it up, but it's taken away there by Martin Hansel before it's cleared back to center. Fisher will get it in over the line, over-skated it, and the Coyotes will clear it, courtesy of Verbata.
Well, toe pick there by Wilson.
And Colin Wilson that time losing it, and it's forced all the way back inside the Nashville blue line. Shea Weber into the neutral zone, picked off by Chipchura. Has an assist in a fight here tonight against the Predators. Bodker in the corner. Bodker out there right now with Chipchura and Vermette. Vermette has it. He'll feed the point man. Ekman Larsson with a shot, and that hit something in front before it was stirred aside by Mazanec.
Good shot there by Oliver Ekman Larsson. That was the high tip by Vermette.
Fisher got one in front, and it's batted away there by Mike Smith. Played over Ryan Ellis and all the way back down the length, and we'll get an icing call against the Coyotes.
Well, here's a look at that shot by Oliver Ekman Larsson. Just a nice wrister, nice friendly wrister. The high tip right there. Nice save there. You see that puck redirect coming high, drops low to the feet. Antoine Vermette almost ties it up.
My guy.
Your guy, yeah.
And Vermette set for the face-off.
It's one area the Coyotes do need to improve, though, in this third period. That's the face-off circle.
Now Craig Smith tried the wraparound, covered up by Smith. That'll get another face-off.
There's the wraparounds. You're seeing players a lot more nowadays with these new nets. Not so deep. The ability to get around them a lot quicker for those stuffs. Goalies have to be a lot more aware. With the wider nets, you know, you really didn't even try that move.
Additional room there in behind, and going to face off now to the right of goaltender Mike Smith. Schlemko locks up there with Nick Spaulding. Puck goes in behind the net. Klessel will wrap it around, and the Coyotes will pick it off. Klinkhammer now trying to go in on Weber without a stick, and a save that time by Mazanec.
I'm not sure Klinkhammer recognized that Weber had broke his stick on the play or not. He might have tried to take it to the net. There's the broken stick. Klinkhammer picks it up. I don't know how he couldn't have noticed it. Shrapnel everywhere. Speed to the outside. Throws a muffin on net though.
Maybe it's Klinkhammer that gets the game tie.
Yeah, he's been a lot better in this game. A lot more involved physically. Using his speed. He's a straight line player. Nothing fancy about his game, but he can move.
Nothing fancy here for Ribeiro as he fires it in. Coyotes trying to go to work in the corner. Shea Weber will take it there for Nashville. And this one played all the way down where Mike Smith will set it up, and he flips it all the way back to center ice where Klinkhammer will move it. So the Coyotes go regroup here. Colin Wilson gets it in over the line before it's played back, and Weber will play it across for Roman Josi. Mike Fisher had a good first period in this one. Weber. And now Schlemko is trying to get it outside the zone, and they're going to say this one came out. So offside the call. We've seen a lot tonight of Seth Jones, the rookie defenseman here in Nashville. That's nothing new, Tyson.
Oh, that is a ton of ice time right there for the youngster. Almost 24 minutes a night. That's an average right there.
His mom has moved here to Nashville from Texas to be with him here in his rookie season.
That's the guy they're hoping that is it eventually going to replace the minutes of Ryan Suter. It's taken them some time. I thought Josi has done a real nice job here as well. He logs significant amount of time, and that's good. When you can have Weber, Jones, or Josi on the ice at all times, you're in pretty good hands.
Played to the line, Kevin Klein with a shot and a glove save there by Mike Smith.
Well, get 2 lower level tickets and 2 beers for $99 with a Thursday night party pack. December 12th when the Coyotes host the Islanders. Purchase yours today by calling 480-563-PUCK or visiting PhoenixCoyotes.com.
And on that note, just a kind of a layout of the schedule coming up. It is the holiday week. We know everybody's busy with their turkey plans. Coyotes will be in Minnesota Wednesday to wrap up this 2-game trip. We'll have that game for you right here on 3 TV. Then the Cup champion Blackhawks come to Glendale Saturday night. We'll have that game for you over on Fox Sports Arizona.
What a game that's going to be.
And then you and I are going to spend about half of December in Canada. in your homeland.
Oh, you're a lucky man. Spend that much time. God's country.
Chipchura plays it along. I just want to see if you're going to bring an overcoat to Edmonton this
No,
year.
we don't live in igloos.
As we get the net knocked off at the
And I don't know.
Nashville end.
And I don't know Dave in Toronto who owns a sports store. Okay.
What's that? Not a producer
Toronto,
talking.
Montreal, Ottawa, Edmonton, Vancouver, Calgary. We're tackling them all. It'll be a lot of fun. A lot of family and friends. A lot of players here on the Coyotes team. Out west, always get up for those Edmonton-Calgary games. Tons of family in the house.
Now the Coyotes will do the Western junket, come home for a couple, including the game of the Islanders, and then they'll go right back out to Eastern Canada. Hansel in behind the net. 3-2, Coyotes trailing it. They trailed 3-0 at the end of one, trying to battle all the way back here tonight in Nashville. Kennedy now for Vrbata, and in over the line, Hansel trying to set it up. Played out by Hansel. Had to wait for teammates to get onside, so Kennedy now for Yandel. Tipped all the way back in by Radim Vrbata, plays it in behind the net where it's steered there by Ozanets. And now whistle in behind the net, and it looks like Martin Hansel is slow to get up. Took a hit there from Gaustad. I think Martin Hansel's going to go over and talk to the referee. Thought he might have caught something up high. Oh yeah, he got a stick up high from the rookie Seth Jones. And a hit there, Paul Gaustad and Tim Kennedy.
Sorry, I was a little distracted. The mouse was back up here.
Was it?
Yeah, I was protecting you. Tried to crawl up your pant leg.
I made sure that my computer bag is all zipped up.
Oh, what a game. This has turned out to be down 3-0. Coyotes have climbed back into this one, as we all should have known. They never go away. No quit.
The Coyotes or the Mouse?
Both.
Back to center ice. Stone. You can get down from the chair now. Into the corner, Weber. Played right to the net. Klinkhammer's there. And now Ribeiro in behind. Feeds it to the point man, Ekman Larsson. Wrist shot. Hit a body in front. That'll be played away and all the way back. Fisher now in the corner with Ekman Larsson. They battle for the loose puck. Nystrom gives it off there. Fisher goes to that quiet area again, but this time he's watched by Ribeiro, and a shot is handled by Smith and rebound. And the Coyotes keep that out as well. Back of the line. Chance here goes wide, taken from Colin Wilson. Now behind the net for Michael Stone, who will reset for Ekman Larsson.
A real good shift there by the Nashville Predators. One of their best since that first period.
Bodker through center. Vermette has it. On left wing, Chipchura's got a bit of an edge there on Ellis. Now Chipchura trying to go in behind the net, but it's taken away by Bartley. And the Predators defenseman will get it outside the zone. Lesla moves it back and over the line. Vermette flips it high over the top of the Nashville net. Chipchura's there. Flips it out high, and Vermette's there, and he's stopped that time by Mazanets.
What a play there, starting with that Vermette dump. Dumps it right high and hard into the far corner, and a beautiful feed there by Chipchura to Vermette, who was in that quiet area that we talked about in the first period.
Matt Cullen in behind the net, tries the wraparound. Now Cullen still with the puck dangling. Cullen got it to the front. Oh, good stick there by Kennedy. Otherwise, Cullen puts that one home.
Yeah, that might have been a goal there. I think that might have been Antoine Vermette. Doing a real good job defensively.
That time Schlemko stepping up on Cullen. And it's played in behind the net. Keith Yandel, a little curl move there. Now Kennedy back through center. Great pass, Vrbata. Vrbata over the line. He shoots. He sent it over the top. Hansel rolls one in, and we'll get a whistle here. And just moments ago, what a chance for Antoine Vermette, looking for a second of the night, but he stops.
Come back, couple Predator chances, their best of the third period. Mike Fisher, real solid in this hockey game, probably one of the best Predators in this one. He gets an opportunity there, big save by Mike Smith. And then Antoine Vermette culling around, wraps that puck right there, the stick in that passing lane, eliminates a real good scoring opportunity for the Predators.
There are the numbers on Antoine Vermette. Don't forget, he made it a 3-1 game in that second before Kennedy got the Coyotes to within one. Martin Hanzal on the draw against Mike Fisher. Predators win it. Seth Jones, best of that time by Kennedy. Frees it for Hanzal. Coyotes get their board game going here as Kennedy and Hanzal working it free. And now Martin Hanzal got it right to the front before it's cleared away.
Oh, how about that battle down low? No call on Fisher. A much bigger Hanzal wins that battle, takes the puck to the net. Nice to see Martin Hanzal feeling good.
And by the way, update from the Coyotes locker room, Shane Doan, lower body, will not return. Kennedy into the corner.
His 8-game point streak comes to an end, and more importantly, let's hope he's okay. It's the last guy they want to lose.
Stone at the line, takes a shot, and that deflected wide. Verbata. Now Hanzal in behind, and that got upended that time. Into the corner.
Play here tonight.
It seems like the lights just dimmed a little bit here at Bridgestone Arena. Played right back, Stone. Good angle off play that time. A rough ride to Colin Wilson.
I think Stone got away with one. Wilson took a glove right up in the pumpkin.
And now Stone will play it across, and Ekman Larsson to set it up. Now you mentioned that a point scoring streak for Shane Doan out of the game with the lower body. And we'd love for the mates to rally and win this one for the captain, come all the way back, considering what he's been doing for the lineup as of late. Chance here, Ekman Larsson, he sent one wide.
Nice player there on the line by Schlemko to get that puck to Oliver Ekman Larsson.
And a good keep there by Schlemko to force it in behind the net. Shea Weber that time just running over the Coyotes player, Jordan Swartz. Out of that quiet area as Klesla tried to bring it down low. Here's Schlemko with a shot, goes wide.
Good cycle here though by the Coyotes, all over the Predators.
Roman Josi. Now Klesla battling with David Moss.
Schlemko and Klesla doing a real nice job pinching in and keeping these cycles alive.
Ribeiro plays it around. Chipchura has it. Two players go tumbling. Weber that time cross-checking Moss. Now Chipchura plays it in behind the net. Ribeiro is there. Coyotes trying to pay it off. Here's a chance, and that's blocked away. Chipchura now into the corner. What a sequence here for Phoenix.
Nashville has nothing left.
Now Chipchura trying to go wide. Kyle Chipchura holding on to the puck. Sent it across. Schlemko gets one on net and making the save, Marek Mazanec. What a sequence for the Coyotes.
Game's getting physical too. We talked about it. Martin Hanzal wins this battle. That was Klein and Fisher. Ribeiro and Moss go down. Rope-a-dope out there in this third period. And the players don't mind. Let them play. Coyotes hem the Predators in. Nashville able to get a line change after that shot by Schlemko.
23-18 hits favoring Nashville. Momentum right now in the favor of the Coyotes, but it's the Predators to bring it along, and Legwand will get it back and over the line. Knocked free, but setting it up is Bork. Behind the net for Legwand. Challenged there by Keith Yandel. And behind the net, having to come down low, Antoine Vermette to the corner. Ryan Ellis, nice move to work it in behind the net for Bork. Now Bork back out high, and a shot is blocked away. Yandel going to try to take it in behind the net, and he finds Bodker, who will get it to the line and out. Now it comes right back in, and we'll get a whistle on the offside. We get a Pepsi Saturday Night Family Pack next Saturday when the Coyotes host the Blackhawks at 6. $99 will get you 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, and 4 Pepsis. Purchase yours today at PhoenixCoyotes.com. What a great deal. A great ticket plan with food, and you get to see the Stanley Cup champion Blackhawks take on the Coyotes.
Yeah, what a game that is going to be. The epic battles that those two teams have. No love lost.
Well, the Blackhawks right now on their annual circus trip because the circus comes to town. It's tradition in Chicago, and that'll be the final game on that trip for the Blackhawks before they get to go back to Windy City.
When are you going to Chicago?
Play it away? What do you mean?
Circus.
I get it. Here's a chance. Kennedy trying to go to the front. Oh, he's right there, but it's stopped by Mazanec.
How good has Kennedy been in this game?
Chance in front for Bada. Getting a stick on him that time. Tim Kennedy. A lot of ice time here with Hansel and Verbata tonight. The puck is played all the way down.
Rightfully so. He has been real good, providing a spark and some energy and making plays on that line.
Hansel through center. Got one in over the line, played into the corner. Ross trying to go after it. He's cut off. Shea Weber will outlet him back through center for Fisher. Fisher that time angled off by Derek Morris, and the puck will end up in behind the net for Yandle to play. Now Ribeiro will bring it along. 9:17 remaining in the third here tonight in Nashville. Roman Josi into the corner, and now Moss will take it in behind the net. And Colin Wilson will bring it right back. Wilson pull a move inside the Coyotes zone, drops it. Holding on to it is Fisher, got one through, but it's blocked away, and the Coyotes will go quick counter. As Mike Ribeiro will bring it along, and he flips it along. Here's a chance in over the line for Derek Morris. Goes in behind the net. Coyotes all over the loose puck, but it's the Predators that come away with it. And Nick Spaulding, who opened the scoring in the first period, will get one deep. Chipchura plays it around. Bodker has it. Lets it go to the point man, Schlumko. Ends up in behind the net. Kind of a weird hop there. Bodker will take it away. Bodker on the curl out high. Tried to get it to Klesla. Overskated it, but the Coyotes will regroup in the neutral zone. Tough break there for Rusty Klesla.
And just out of his wheelhouse. Kind of thought Mikkel Bodker could have took that puck and ripped it instead of electing for that pass.
Played back through center. In over the line, Cullen trying to get around Klesla. Well, Cullen and Klesla battling for the loose puck, but it's broken up here. Here's a chance. Klein tried to jam it to the net. Cullen now. Bork and Hansel battle for the loose puck in behind the net, and it comes right in front. And now Kennedy will get it out, and he chips it all the way back to center ice. Smart play there off the near boards.
Just a simple play, and right now you have to simplify your game. You got to start shooting the puck, getting those pucks on net again, like in the second period when they scored their 2 goals.
Across Yandle, trying to get it through a lane. Here's Verbata, and that was blocked away. And Seth Jones races it back. Then over the line, Stahlberg. Wide curl to the front, it's underneath. And taken away by Verbata. And the Coyotes get it right back up ice.
End-to-end action right now.
Yeah, Mike Ribeiro, but that's taken away and cleared out of there by Shea Weber. Well, the clock continues to tick away here. Been a while since our last whistle. Lost through center. Swartz now. Plays it in behind the net, locked up with Shea Weber. And now Hendricks tries to get it out. Good keep there by Stone. He forced it. Here's a chance. Ribeiro with a chance. Loose in the crease. They try to put it home, and it's underneath. And Mazanec makes the save and won't get a whistle. Well, the Coyotes bringing the heat. All sorts of chances in a 3-2 game. Time for the game summary, and at one point it was 3-0 Nashville on a beautiful play that ended up on Gabriel Bork's stick, and he put it in behind goaltender Mike Smith. But then Antoine Vermette in the second period, getting a shot on goal that was able to trickle through. That made it 3-1 at 9:34. And then Tim Kennedy, backhander between the legs at 13 minutes from Hansel and Verbata. That's where we stand, 3-2 with 6:21 to go in the third period of play. Tim Kennedy, 15:37. Time on ice, 21 shifts. He's had a couple of hits along with his first tally of the season.
Well, face-offs the rest of the way, 6:21 to go. Gotta win them.
And Vermette in there against Paul Gaustad.
Gaustad, one of the best in the league.
Gaustad, number one, coming in face-off win percentage, but Antoine Vermette has won more face-offs. Into the corner it goes. Coyotes are trying to free it up, and Kyle Chipchura trying to get it out. He can't. Now Mike Smith will play it around those boards and up on the glass. Chipchura having a bit of an issue there, and it's taken away by Hendricks before it's cleared out. Ellis couldn't keep there. Ryan Ellis will bang one right back in.
Phoenix has only won 3 of 12 offensive zone faceoffs tonight. That has to improve.
Fisher,
down by one.
Yeah. We'll keep an eye on that over the last 5.5. Randall trying to move it out. And now Bodker at center, and he'll flip one in behind the net. So the Coyotes send out a fresh unit. And it's Hansel Verbata and Tim Kennedy. Smith plays it to the corner, and that's where Stone will leave it for Martin Hansel. Hansel out of the zone, he brings it along, but he nearly got stripped of the puck. Nice job by Craig Smith forcing the Coyotes back. Seth Jones on left wing. Trying to get it up for Spaulding. Now Ekman Larson out of the zone as Verbata will move it along. Backhands one towards the Predators net, ends up in behind. Seth Jones will backhand one. And it's played around by Matt Cullen. Cullen's shot is blocked away. Quick counter for Kennedy, but he can't get it out. And so Smith will play it in behind the net. Kennedy looking up high. Boy, his passing's been very crisp here tonight. Got it in over the line for Moss. Good complete game tonight by Tim Kennedy. And this one goes all the way down the length, and we get a whistle here on an icing call. As usual, a lot of games in the National Hockey League this season decided by one goal. Predators, Coyotes are not unaccustomed to that. 6-0-2 the Predators, and Coyotes 7-0-4 in one-goal games, right up there with Colorado and St. Louis.
Oh, they've come back many times before. We talked about that all game long. They know what needs to be done. With 4:08 to go. And to dig deep here. Not sure what's going on here. They're saying faceoff's going to come outside.
Dave Tippett getting an explanation from referee Greg Kimmerly. Mike Ribeiro having words with Kimmerly as well. They're going to mark this faceoff back at center. Looks like we're going to take a break.
All rights to this broadcast are reserved, and any rebroadcast, recording, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the Phoenix Coyotes is expressly prohibited.
Welcome back. It's the Coors Light Cold Hard Stats, and they're brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the game's most refreshing beer. Fairly even on both sides, and one thing that we talked about was the Coyotes need to stay out of the penalty box tonight. Considering what's happened on the penalty kill, they've been able to do that. Just one power play in the game, and it belongs to the Coyotes, as this one will be played by the Predators. And flipped all the way back to center.
Discipline has been great for the Coyotes. It's just the starts. Again, allowing that first goal 3 games straight. You dig yourself a 3-goal deficit, and It's a tough hill to climb, particularly against the Predators.
Rink wide for Bodker, in over the line, drops it. Ribeiro tried a little dangle move there, threw it in front. And now Stone's going to send a wrister to the net. Bounces in front. Coyotes trying to gain it. It's cleared out of there.
And you look at Nashville, they don't even care about the puck right now. They all collapse into the house, doing a good job boxing out and taking their man, taking the sticks away, allowing their goaltender to see those shots. And if not, blocking them.
Should free up some of the point men.
Yeah.
We'll keep our eye on guys like Michael Stone and Derek Morris.
Yeah, that high or low to high play is definitely open. Good point by you.
Back out high, Morris takes a shot, and that's steered aside by Mazanec. Tim Kennedy in behind the net. Yandel trying to force it, but Yandel lost it, and Fisher back the other way as it's played all the way back.
Mike Fisher's been the best player on the ice for both teams tonight.
Real good as Yandel will play it along. Got it back it over the line. Chipping into the corner of his hands and just kind of threw down his man. Now behind the net, Verbata. That's on Derek Morris. It snuck all the way in down low in that right circle.
Yeah, Derek Morris just got in a little bit too low. The rebound slipped right by him.
Yandel brings it back into the right wing corner on a feed. Hansel going after it. Taken away by Seth Jones, and he finds Gabriel Bourque. This one dumped all the way back, and we're going to get an icing call here. We'll bring the face-off all the way back.
Too big and too strong, Martin Hansel. Just gets his elbow in there. A little slew foot there on Klein. But I love how this game has been refereed tonight. They are letting these two teams battle it out.
What are you looking for? Off the face-off and a shot. Bodker rebound. Oh, and they can't get it home. Ribeiro. Riders going to try to keep it. Bodker behind the net.
Wow, Ribeiro had a wide open net. I don't know if that was Klein.
And then Klein gets the puck, and he'll go off the boards and all the way back to center. Sent right back in. By the way, the mouse is back. Played into the corner. Played all the way back to center ice for Matt. Now Ekman Larsson. Ribeiro dangling inside the zone, looking to set it up. Got it back out high, but it's Fisher to take it away, and here comes Seth Jones. Jones in over the line, got stripped of the puck that time by Stone. Countering Ekman Larsson. Brings it along, got it in over the line. Kennedy goes back out high. Verbata with a wrister, batted away. Mazanec with a save there, and another shot from a sharp angle. Comes back in front. Ekman Larsson swatting away at a rebound. What a stop that time. Oh, Ribeiro is robbed. Goes side of the net again. Ribeiro Mazanec. Wow.
And Ribeiro cannot believe it. Twice on the same shift. Ribeiro goes to the net, the Bodker shot, and it just rolls off the end of Ribeiro's blade. I think Klein might have had something to do with this. Good defensive play there. And then the last one. Throwing everything at the net. Big, juicy rebounds.
Now we got a timeout. Phoenix. What a sequence. Mike Ribeiro. Coyotes really putting on the heat.
What a save. Unbelievable. Well, here's that last chance by Mike Ribeiro. He just walks right into this one. Oliver Ekman Larsson throws it at the net. Rebound right there. Look at the positioning. The push from right to left. Ribeiro gets a breather there.
So the Coyotes called timeout, and that gives that unit a breather. Ribeiro will stay out there. Coyotes trying to come back all the way back from 3-0 here tonight.
All
Empty net
horses.
down to our right. Mike Smith on the bench for the extra attacker.
The horses on the ice.
Hansel for Matt. Verbata. Ribeiro. Ekman, Larson, and Yandel. A lot of offense out there right now for the Coyotes. Back of the line, Yandel throws it across. Into the corner, Ribeiro slides it in behind the net as we go under a minute remaining in the third. Good battle down low. Coyotes trying to free it up here. Rolling puck around. Big hit that time, Ribeiro. Slamming into Roman Josi. Coyotes will free it. And a shot on by Hansel that time is steered. Cleared out of there and sent all the way down the length and into the net. That took a funny hop, but it goes right down the middle, and the Coyotes fall behind 4-2. Boy, Martin Hansel got yanked down, and there's another look right here.
Oh, absolutely. How is that not a penalty? That's a can opener right there. An obvious hook. And then they score on top of it. So not only is that a missed call, the Coyotes should be on the power play with 34 seconds to go. That is a blatant missed call. At that stage of the game,
so Weber, an empty netter. 7th of the season, and it comes at 19:25. Played all the way back, and Roman Josi is tied up by Dave Moss. 25 seconds to go. Kyle Chipchura. Mike Smith back between the pipes, and Moss will send it in behind the net. Trying to work it to the front, but it's denied there. And skating it all the way back is Roman Josi as he gets it back and over the line. Now, this is going to be a tough one for the Coyotes to swallow, because after that first period, they battled back to cut it to 1. And that's going to do it here tonight at Bridgestone Arena. 3 straight in the loss column for the Phoenix Coyotes. And this one a heartbreaker, Tyson.
Well, a heartbreaker because they did battle back so hard. The missed call there at the end on the hook on Martin Hansel. The Coyotes should have finished this game off with a power play. But I guess at the end of the day, you dig yourself a hole like they did in that first period. It's tough to come back, but overall a pretty good effort.
Now the Coyotes fell behind 3-0, but then they would get goals in the second from Antoine Vermette and Tim Kennedy. They fall in Nashville 4-2. Back to wrap it up after this.